Hey, Tony Chips here from Chiappetta Shoes. So I got a customer that we're going to talk about the adjustment process and checkup we do every 6 months, and something that I had to record that is important. And dealing with the customer, he's had custom orthotics. This is his second set. These are about 2 years old, year and a half. He hasn't been in it about 12 months or so. And he's saying he's having a lot of ball of the foot and toe issues, falling asleep, really sensitive. He gets into bed and he has to have the sheets just right to make them not painful. And we were talking about, how work's going. He owns a hardware shop. He's on his feet 12 to 14 hours a day. This guy's a hard worker. And custom orthotics, we've got a nice 4-layer custom orthotic, primetime Chiappetta Shoes custom orthotic. And looking at the adjustments, we have a lot of wear and tear. There's a lot of compression. This is an SR Poron Met pad. We have a 3mm arch bar that is at least 40% compressed, probably more than that. We have a little Poron in the forefoot here. Now, we were talking about what I want to bring up is the habitual aspects of your patients or customers. And we were discussing, how work's going. He's like, hey, check my shoes out. You'll never believe this. And he was showing me the tips of his shoes were wearing a ton right at the front edge here. And he said, yeah, guess why that is? And I'm like, that's weird. Normally people wear out the lateral aspect of the heel. And he says when he's working and he's got to go down to the down lower shelves, he'll get down, slide his foot on 1 and 2 knees. He gets down on both knees and looks back. So we're talking about this, and he was telling me his problem. His feet are falling asleep. Looked at the orthotic, and the other aspect that I found was really interesting was you can see the big toe was about 50 to 80% more compressed on the right side compared to the left side. So when you're assessing somebody and helping people out, you have to consider the habitual aspects of what people do. Do you turn on one side? Do you bend on one side? This works with a lot of electricians, a lot of warehouse people, anybody that's doing movements that's up and down. You should ask, what are you doing specifically at work? And a lot of times these people don't think about what they're doing at work. They're just, kind of going about life as easy as possible. And what's our brain's main job? Make life as easy as possible. So he's loading up that right side. So we had a nice long talk, posture at work, and just being cognizant about what you got going on during the day and how that plays into what could be potentially causing a problem. So this customer hasn't been in about a year or so. We're taking acetone and rubbing down the orthotic. We're going to give it a good rub right here. It's going to disinfect the orthotic, open up the pores of the EVA just a little bit. It is closed cell, so I guess that's not factually correct. But first line of work is we're gonna take heat gun, 1,000 degrees, get it on full blast, let it heat up a minute. We're gonna heat this up, particularly that right side. Now when you heat up EVA, it's gonna expand a lot. Back to the original thickness is the idea. You're just gonna soften it up. It's a closed cell molecular structure, so when you heat it up, it's gonna re-expand. And you'll feel, once you heat it up, it's a little gummy, so you don't wanna do this and put it right back into the shoe. You wanna let it cool off again. So that's the first step. The second step is we're gonna take the orthotic and, as Blippi says, first thing first, safety first. We're going to replace what's on the bottom here. I think that we're gonna do the same adjustment process. We're just gonna replace it with new materials. So we're removing all of this on the grinding machine. All right, so when making adjustments, you want to reduce the amount of steps as much as possible, because more steps, more time, more drying time for the glues, and nobody wants to wait. I don't want to wait. I don't got no time. You got time? I don't got time. So we're gonna get the Met pad and the arch bar in one swoop, and then we're gonna follow that up. We got a 2-stepper here. We're gonna follow that up with the 2mm pour-on at the base. Little 4-foot cushion. Everybody likes a little cushion. So, cushion cork is an excellent material to work with. It does not heat mold and wrap that well. So if you're doing a lateral cuboid pad arch or a lateral heel bar, something that wraps up against the side, I'm going to recommend a multi-cork because that heats up and molds very nicely. So we got a Met pad with cushion cork. I'm going to adjust this a little bit. Yeah, we're going to shorten that up just there. I went 2 3/4. We're going to go down to about 2 1/2. That's better. All right, now here is this little trick. We're going to set it up. I'm going to shift that just a hair forward. All right, so we're re-outlining the pad here. Hope you all can see. I got this on the GoPro, so I can't see. Now I'm also putting the Met pad on top. We're going to cut that, kind of pre-cut it. So we're reducing the steps. That's important. Now I like to make sure everything is precise and nice, because you know what they say, ain't no better than Chiappetta. That's what they say out there. The mean streets of Kenosha. You know, Kenosha, they got some mean streets out here, you know what I'm saying? And luckily nobody's burning anything down today, so I'm happy about that. But it is what it is. We're just here to fix feet. And all right, so we got that outline. We're gonna cut that out. So whoop. Cut that out too. Okay. Make it nice and nice. I always love using a glue sheet just because you reduce the amount of crap that gets all over the workshop. And alright, so that sits real nice right there. That looks pretty good. Alright, perfecto. So we're gonna glue this up. Glue sheets, we just got some new ones. You know, they usually last a couple of years. The last one's totally full of glue. Really bad. Not good. And you know, contact cement, we try to be not messy with it, but you don't want to skimp. Gotta get some full coverage here, you know? Want to be clean about it. You know, when you're doing glue, it's all about the twirl. Push, twirl, and then you're good. Teddy taught me that. May he rest in peace. If you've watched any of our Grindhouse review videos, Ted lives on in a child picture of himself that's framed in a golden toilet seat that is in the lab of our lower basement. And he was like a brother to me, and he's like our lab patron, essentially. Self-taught engineer. Guy was a psychopath, you know. He knew everything, and I loved him for it. But he taught me everything I need to know about engineering, running a lab, how to be a maniac as well. It's all about precision. So we're gonna let this dry. Now, the next step, because we want to reduce the amount of steps, is we want some pour-on, 16th inch. This is from Rogers Corp. Beautiful stuff. And we're gonna do a 3-inch cutout that. Alright. Check our measurements. So, yeah, I like to reduce the amount of waste. Nobody likes wasting. Costs money, screws up the environment. Everybody wants to make the environment happy, especially this new administration. And a lot of environment stuff, I don't know, but you know what? I'm doing what I can. That's what counts. So we got pour-on. That's going to be a 4-foot pad. Pour-on typically doesn't break down, but when you have it as an external element, it has a lot of shear factor. And this stuff, it's an open cell material, so it does wear away. Now, if you have it internally, on our custom orthotics, we have it in between the top layer and the first core layer. That's going to hold up a long time. We got people coming in, long time orthotic wearers. You're talking, 12 plus years. And surprisingly, one of the longest lasting materials in the whole thing is actually the pour-on. This is great stuff. Highly recommend any companies that are manufacturing. You want to step your game up on quality, you call my guys over at Rogers Corporation and you talk about pour-on, because it is the best. Great material. I'm all about EVAs, don't get me wrong. But when it comes to pour-on, they can really dial in some custom recipes. You got all different kinds of pour-on. You got XRD pour-on, you got slow recovery pour-on, you got, I think it's called sport pour-on. This is like our standard pour-on. It's great stuff. We have all these little things here. These SR pour-on that's a little bit firmer. It's really nice for met pads and scaphoid pads. But yeah, so you know what? We want to let the glue dry. Contact cement's a little finicky. You got to be careful about it. And we're going to give this gentleman a nice little shine job. And yeah. So while we're waiting for that to dry, give these a nice little shine job. You know what? He's got them beat up. Unfortunately, Clark's has not had any product for quite a long time. And this was the Unbend. A fantastic shoe. One of the best that Clark's ever made. Goes down in the history books of dumb men's shoes. We love this shoe. They stopped making it though. What are you gonna do about it? So we're switching everybody over to the Drew, the Toledo. Fantastic option. The Drew Toledo. It's a little bit more expensive. You're at about $189 at most retailers. $190, $180, $190, right around there. And polyurethane sole, really well built. I don't have one here, so I can't show you, but just a really nice, good basic construction. Fits well, double layer insert. Can fit custom orthotics. The standard insert on the Drew Toledo, it's a hell of an insert. It's got a really nice arch contour, just well built. For $190, you're getting a well-made shoe for any guy that's looking for something like that. So we got this. Adjustments are going to be dried pretty soon, and my customer, he's waiting. I like doing adjustments on the spot. I don't want to wait, put it in the lab, let it sit for a couple of days. I'd rather service this guy right away. And typically, my customers, they know what's going on. We're going to take care of them. We're going to shine their shoes, make it look nice and nice. That's what you got. So, looking at that. Now, I used a lighter brown. I probably could have gone a darker shade. But these shoes, A, are beat to hell. B, you don't want to go too dark. So what we're going to do is we're going to heat it up. Again, you could do 800 or 1,000. I'm going to give it a light blast with 1,000. And we're just going to evenly coat that. I'm going to finish this off with a little Phoebing's leather balm, just to give it a little extra juice. The heat gun's nice. Kind of singes any of the frayed stitching. You gotta be careful not to melt any nylon though. Alright. See, it's coming out real nice. Some lighter marks in there, but that Phoebing's will give it a good final touch. All right, so we'll do the Phoebings in between applying the first set of adjustments and the last. So, boom. This, want to replace that with this, nice and simple. A lot of times when you're doing adjustments, thinking about it, you know, people overwear stuff. You overwear shoes, you overwear inserts, and a lot of times, you know, when you're talking about adjustments, typically you get it right the first time. But people overwear things, they break down, they start having problems. Most of the time, not all the time, depends on the situation, but you can just replace it with the same thing you had on there first, because you know what they say, that first idea is usually the right idea. So, put that on there. Now when I do this, I like to lightly apply. I'm not pounding the hell out of it right away. Just get it on. That's number one. The SR point likes to expand a little bit. It's a little bigger. Be careful you're not blasting this, you know what I'm saying? Hey Nick, how you doing? Say hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, it's Nicky. So we're getting this down. Getting there right there. Alright. So now we're going to take it over here. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Pasquale's lasting horse. This thing is like 100 years old. In fact, Chiappetta Shoes is literally 100 years old. So there you go. Nice and simple. Compression is important. Compression is very important when you're trying to get the best bond. So, alright, what do we got here? We got metatarsal pad, arch bar. I'm not going to play with this too much. We're going to get new pour-on going on top of it. So we got 3-inch free glue. So we got 3-inch stretch. Now we want to go pretty much from the core edges 3 inches up. This is my common rule. We're going to take it at an angle, and I'm going to go right over that met pad. So we got our trusty square. Boom. Nice and simple. I am going to go over this piece. That was a cutout for the 5th toe, and I think we're going to be good because we're going to switch them over to that Drew Toledo, which is a touch deeper than your good old Clarkson bend. I don't know. Alright, so we got our lines. I'm seeing this is not pressed all the way. So, just want to make sure you get that fully applied. I'll give it some more pressure too in a sec, but alright. Now, doing this contact cement. We love Arena glue. It's the best of the best. Got plenty of ventilation in here, so I'm set. You know, who knows? Our next store, we are looking for a new store, new location. We're gonna have a beautiful lab right in the front. And you know what? Vibram, I'm gonna call you guys up. Fabrizio, we're gonna talk. And I'm really excited. I'm gonna have a lab right in the front of the shop. And it's gonna be awesome. Customers are gonna be able to see the magic. We're gonna talk, we're gonna do more video. But with the new location, I want a Vibram wall. I want, see all these, we got all these soles here, all that stuff. Got the Vibram up there. I do a lot of Vibram product. I would love a Vibram wall, maybe like a history wall and then like a display of all the different types of soles. That'd be really cool. All right, so we got glued up. We're gonna let that sit for another 2.5 to 4 minutes. We're gonna give these a quick little shine job with final touch of Phoebings leather balm. This is awesome. We get it by the gallon. It's good stuff, and I love it. So with this, it's a nice clear conditioner that you're gonna pick up some of that polish that you had on there before, and you can apply this sparingly because we're still gonna blast it with a little heat. And you can go over the nubuck here on the collar. It's not a bad thing. Depends on how cutesy you want to be about it. But it's gonna condition the leather real nice. And there we go. All right. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. This is a long video. I'm going to be doing live videos very soon. We're setting up a Twitch account, but we're going to share it to LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitch. And we're using Streamlabs. It's going to be pretty cool. And the idea is that any adjustments that I do, I'm just going to pop this trusty GoPro, get it going live, and talk shoes, talk inserts, talk feet, talk orthotics, talk adjustments, talk Pedorthics. And you know what? I can talk all day. That's what I do. I fix feet. Because you know what they say, ain't no better than Chiappetta. And the trick is, I've been a goalie my whole life, so I've been used to talking to myself. And you know, I like forecasting. I like talking about what's going on, what's the play, what's up ahead of me, what does my defense need to know, what does my coach need to know, who's seeing what. That's it. That's the key of being a good goalie. I tell my boys every single day, you want to be a good goalie, you got to forecast. So. All right. Okay. This leather, this guy, like I said before, he beats the hell out of his shoes. He's hard on his feet, he's hard on his body. He's going way too much on that right toe. So we're gonna help him out. We're gonna fix the orthotics up, and we're gonna talk about posture. But we're getting pretty close. Now, contact cement, you don't want, see that? It's kind of getting, it's a little thick still. You don't want it dry. If you heat it up, it's gonna boil. I literally grew up in a lab, so I can learn all these stupid little things very early on in life. I tried making gloves for myself when I was like 8 years old. Got into mountain biking real early. And I learned a lot about materials. I don't know why. Just came in naturally. You got pour on. Heat it up. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, this video is going to conclude very soon. But, moral of the story, habitual habits of you, the customer, of your patients, talking to them, what's going on, talk about what's causing a problem, and identify the problem first. Then you want to talk about, what are you doing throughout your day? What movements are you doing? You sitting down? You tucking your feet underneath you at that desk job? Working from home too much? Drinking Bloody Marys too early? Nobody can tell. Boss isn't there. Hey. Bloody Marys sound great right now. I'm a Bloody Mary fan. Anybody in Milwaukee, I'd love to know your best Bloody Mary. Kenosha, we got a few good ones here. But Milwaukee, there's a lot. Corazon, I went over to Corazon like 6 months ago. It's good stuff. Alright, so we're going to finish this up on the grinder. there you go. Refurbish the whole shot. Check out the habits of your customers. If you got foot pain, think about what you do throughout the day. That's going to be a key asset in telling your people that you are fixing you how you live your life. Chiappetta Shoes ain't no better than Chiappetta. Ciao.